I'm trying not to have that rack of washing in the picture, but I guess I just can't. It's just how it is. Welcome. My name is Mimi, and this is the Yarnchix Podcast, and I'm filming episode 67 here in Berlin, Wedding. I welcome you, and I'm excited to chat a little bit about a few makes that I have planned. Okay, here I go. I've got my running order. I've got all my projects on the table in front of me. And I've got two cats playing wildly around me. Also, sadly, I've got a bit of a sore throat, so excuse the croaky voice. I've got my Echinacea yogi tea. Oh dear. Gotta sort this out. Okay, I just gave them some treats and I hope they don't fight over that either. So I'm drinking tea, trying to cure this voice because, I'm working tomorrow and I want to be fit again. But also I wanted to record a brief podcast because linommuka ended and we drew a random.org winner, and Puck, congratulations from my heart. You won with your little post about choosing colors for your project, and I really liked that post when I first saw it because I thought it was a great way to introduce a project and to connect to our group. And you won, and my friend is actually right now delivering the yarn and the bag and my present to the Netherlands, so hopefully there'll be a little handover, if not some slow mail within the Netherlands, which is really lucky for me. Congratulations to everyone who joined and for all your beautiful makes. I'm gonna include a little slideshow so that we can honor some of the cool things that we've made. Have fun with that. And now, obviously, after a knit-alongs, before a knit-along or during a knit-along, because every year we have Magic 3 Mile running throughout, and I double dip forever. I have this written here. It says, double dip away, because I love when linommuka projects are also part of the Magic 3 Mile, and that is, it's always welcome to double dip from other knit-alongs, craft-alongs, sew-alongs, whatever projects you decide to make in Magic 3 Mile is, even better if you can celebrate it through different communities, and other crafters will appreciate you sharing this way and that. That's what I think. Anyway, Magic 3 Mile is a craft along for the children in our lives. In the past, we've started also making magical 3 items for ourselves, because you gotta honor the maker, and sometimes you gotta just make for yourself. So I definitely have one of those. I haven't drawn a drawing for it, but I have one brewing, and I still have one open from last year, so let's go for it. And I have a couple of drawings of the projects I envision to do that I wanted to share with you guys here, because there's some projects that I've made that will become a set that are already existing. Some of them are here in the room with me, some of them aren't, so let's just go through the drawings and have a little chat. So, in the first set, I included this pig. It's a From Cynthia design from her book. Look, this is the book. Moosh and Friends. And it's this little pig. And I've knitted it. And I've gifted it. And I'm making clothes for it at the moment. So I've gifted it basically naked, and I'm gonna craft an outfit this weekend, the next couple of days, and then gift that as well. And it was just something that had to go to someone already, so I've gifted it. But I think I'm gonna make another one, because I really enjoyed the process of making this pattern. It's Alphonse or Mina Pig by Cynthia Valley, and I want to make a really simple cardigan with these color-coded ribbings. I think Donnerstag Sonntag one, like German interior design, very designy person, made a cardigan like that, and it keeps popping up, either theirs or other people who have then re-envisioned it with different colors. And I just really like the idea of doing these like contrast ribbings, a very simple beige or warm brown cardigan. And I want to do these kind of wide-legged, kind of culotte-style gym shorts in 4 colors. And I bought the fabric already, which I can show to you in a minute when I do a little bit of a fabric show and tell. But yeah, I'm excited to make these gym shorts. So that will be the set number 1. Yeah, materials and whips I will show in a minute, I think. I guess that's how we're going to do it. Yeah, because sadly this is also a finished object, and I left it at work because I've hung it up as a little display. It's my pride colored rainbow scrap and end bits linommuka shawl. I've just posted on Instagram a little finished object celebrating this finished item. The pattern is called Summer Stripe Shawl, and I had so many leftovers from previous projects and gifted some yarns, actually through the swap table at my local yarn group, Liebesweddingstrick. We have one swap table per year where all the people who are already part of the community can come and bring some of their yarn and take some yarn home. We've always had finished objects as well, which is crazy. If you imagine you go to the swap and then you end up going home with a t-shirt or a sweater that somebody knitted. Amazing. And yeah, this time I'd forgotten my project and somebody had put linommuka on the table. So I just started knitting the Summer Stripe Shawl with linommuka from our swap table. And I actually finished it, or like did the last rows at our summer knit night. And so that felt really, really special, that this group and some leftovers from this group, some presents from friends, and a lot of my own leftovers made this rainbow happen. And I've decided I want to use the magic dice system to do a scrappy stripy sock, and I will use the dice just to determine the color that's coming next. And I'm going to carry on using up leftovers from when we knitted the magic dice last year, and I still have some Stashvent yarns from my beautiful swappy, and yeah, stay tuned for Stashvent. There's more about that in a minute. But yeah, I want to do scrappy socks. And then, this is actually a sewing project I'm most excited about. I want to sew a quilted linen vest. So I'm going to try and find some cotton padding, like wadding, because I don't want it to be too warm. And I want it to be that classic style, maybe with a toggle or I-cord kind of closure. And I've already got the... I mean, it looks more yellow here in my drawing, but it's kind of like a minty green. It's called green tea, this color. It's 100% linen from the yarn shop that I work at. We import linen yarn, which is linommuka, and linen fabric, which is this. And I chose this green, and I want to get this kind of warm brown, and then the inside will be a light purple. And yeah, watch the space for some sewing. So I'm going to try, and like hand quilting. So I'm excited about that. It's definitely a set that is almost maybe me, 3 things from me set. Let's wait and see. And the last set I wanted to show you is this one. I want to make these Polka Studio, no, what are they called? Polka Dot Club knitting pattern cats. So I bought the PDF pattern from Polka Dot Club, and I'm excited. I haven't really stash dived yet. I have got some Abinaya yarn, which my cat was biting into, so I had to like protect it. This really dark. Oh my god, the sun is blowing it out, but it's so beautiful. It's Abinaya yarn in their sport weight. It's so nice and lushly brown, and I want to use this for one of the cats, but I've got to make 2 because we've got 2 living with us. So this would be Charlie, a little bit more hairy, so I'm going to add some more hair. And this is going to be Isla, a little bit more skinny, shorter furred, slightly different colouring. So I'm going to experiment with that. So watch this space. And yeah, want to make this for a baby set. So some like a little bonnet and a pinwheel, baby romper by Ainur. I really like this pattern. I just want to try it out, honestly. It's one of those patterns that I think is going to provide me with a lot of knit fun. So I want to be doing that. And yeah, I'm excited. I often craft these kind of tiny baby things, and then I wait for some of my friends to maybe become parents, and then these presents can go out into the world. So I think I'm just doing it like that. It's not like dedicated for a specific child. It's just making and crafting for the joy of it, and doing these little projects as a way of connecting to like a more playful crafting and like for presents. So I really like the joy of making something that I'm going to give away to someone. So this kind of, yeah, just kind of helps to make things with people in mind for me. And I often make for myself. So when it comes to these smaller items, I have all the fun for like gift making or present making. I'm a little bit different, or I'm a little bit wobbly. My voice is husky and all of these things. It's and I want to kind of say something about that, but I don't want to address it because I'll start crying again. So we're gonna avoid that here. There's like a grief monster living with me at the moment, and so I have to really deal with that head on. So I decided at the end of this podcast I'm gonna ask a tarot net oracle card, because I think a lot of people relate to the process of grieving or grief as a process, or I don't know, just the struggle with it. I think we all can feel it at the moment in this world, in our small worlds, in the big world. It is a relatable question. So I wanted to ask how to deal with the grief beast when it moves in. That's going to be the tarot net oracle at the end. And the net reportage, I think I'm going to go to the garden. It's very wild and very autumnal, like leaves falling, blown over flowers, but I just want to show you in a video clip to finish up this thing. On Sunday I'm going to go to a plant and seed swap. I'm very excited to do that for myself as a little moment of recognizing that I have grown these plants, I have grown seeds, and I can share them. I'm gonna sew some little bags for that, maybe in a little bit, and hand out some seeds for other people that I have not yet met. Yeah, swap with strangers, wear a mask, swap with strangers, and like hang out with some garden people that I haven't met. Okay, that was my little detour to introduce what's coming at the end here. Let's get going with my finished objects. So, this summer, I knit linommuka. Like this one is one of the linommuka knit-alongs. I'm sorry that the sun is kind of blowing out and showing you my bralette underneath this, because like the windows are basically behind you camera, so I have a lot of light on me, so I'm a bit like self-conscious, but I love wearing the ranunculus. I made this from linommuka in 3 strands already in 2020, I think, in our knit-along. And I often craft with linen. I love this one. I love the marine blue. I love how I changed the gauge to a 4.5 millimeter needle, and it's become this really nice little t-shirt, and it's kind of a comfort top, so I thought I'd wear it today on this podcast. But this year I also had a bit of a craving to try out a different summer yarn, which is the pure silk from Knitting for Olive. And I had the blood orange colorway in the stash from the first year they published it, like released this color. Look how bright it is. Again, the sunlight is right behind us, and it is so bright the camera cannot deal with it. I love it. I love how it just on the camera you can't see any of the loosey-goosey stitches or anything, because, well, this color, it's just magical. I cast this on sitting next to a friend, and I went through it, I think 3 weeks. I was continuously knitting this. Like I said, living with a grief beast can be awkward, but it can also mean you're processing thoughts, and these stitches are definitely part of that. I made this in 3.5 weeks or something ridiculous, hyper focused. I don't think I was knitting on anything else, maybe a little bit on my blue disco trousers, which I will report back about in the next podcast. So episode 68 for that one. I basically lost a game of yarn chicken, and I'm seething. I'm like, I can't believe I did this. I will have to talk about that next time, because this is just a bit of a 4th ball of pure silk. This yarn is so incredible, has such good yardage, you know. If I'd made a smaller size, 3 would have been enough, because I think I did the ribbing with the 4th one, and it was a new dye lot, but it doesn't matter. The pattern, sorry, keep holding it. The pattern of this top is the Montpleasant tee, which is a bottom-up t-shirt that I have made several times, and usually it has this kind of lacy detail at the bottom. I like the way it drapes and it wears, and I like the shape, but I didn't want something so frilly, and I just wanted a really basic tee, so I omitted that, and I have a rolled hem. And then I kind of did the increases, which you do under the arm, and knitted the front and the back. So hence there's some kind of loosey-goosey random rows in there, because when I keep turning backwards and forwards, some of my rows, when I purl, are not so even. But I didn't really mind. I just wanted to finish and wear this. I did finish just as I got to holiday, and I think I blocked it at the first place we're staying with my mother-in-law, and then wore it quite a lot. Wearing pure silk is definitely warm. It's warmer than linommuka. Linommuka has a cooling effect. I love the way it's breathable and refreshing to wear in these hot summers. We went to the UK for a holiday, and it was raining and cold, and we got stuck in some storms, and you know what? It was actually a perfect summer top for this summer. And I'm really happy I have it. It filled a gap in my wardrobe. It's in this incredible color. I was using up stash. It was glorious. It's a glorious FO. I'm very happy I have it. Then already earlier this year, I cast on and made half of this. The Wiggle Scarf by Helena Wieser, and came back, was still linommuka knitting after the holiday, decided I'll pick up this whip, knit on it for a weekend, increased by one stitch by like randomly not decreasing or anything, and then ripped it all back. So this is like a knit it, rip it back, knit it, rip it back. So I started to make this beautiful little list of, like, you know, when you count rows with like Strichliste, we call it in German. You make lines, and it's like use Roman decimal or whatever. And I love the madness of it. Again, very, very symbolic of my time in this world right now. And it was like knitting forwards, frogging, knitting forwards, frogging. It was a process, but I finished it about half an hour ago. Again, I went a bit further because I thought I might squeeze another repeat out of this. Then started using a dark navy version of the same yarn because I'd run out, and I was like, I just want to finish this repeat. Decided no, I'll frog back to have the scarf all in this one color. I think there's now no mistakes in it. Please do not allow me to double check if all the shaping is right. Okay, it's Friday, school's over, so where was I? Anyway, now this is finished, and I call it a finished object, and I really love the pattern. I kind of needed something like this that was a little bit demanding on the counting front, and for me, maybe I had to go backwards and forwards for a bit. Maybe that's what I came for when I picked up that whip. And I will make it part of a set for Magic 3 Mile, and I haven't make it. Obviously, you haven't seen a drawing about that, so I'm gonna think about that a little bit longer. There's another whip that I've finished object that I'd never shown that I think I might pair it with, which were these mitts that were a request by my eldest child, and I made them around Easter when Magic 3 Mile began. I think we began early this year. I think I said we're running all year until the 1st of December. And then in April, I was busy making stuff for it. And then lots of things have been going on. Like I said, it's been a bit of a ride. And so this is definitely a finished object that these could become a thing. So mitts, self-drafted, fingerless, but with fingers. I don't know how you call those, like chopped off. It was, I think they were well received when I made them, and I used 3 strands. There was like an alpaca from Holst, which is called Titicaca. There is the brushed alpaca from Kaos yarns, and there is a strand of Merino from Knitting for Olive. So I think it's 3 or 4 strands, so they're really warm and really soft. And so maybe we'll start a marled, maybe this will be a marled set. So I'll just have to think about if this was the accessory and this is like the top, what the bottoms would be, or I'll think about that one a little bit, but I just wanted to show you those things as finished objects. And maybe I should talk about the yarn a little bit. So this is the Lalland DK from Gilpin. It's this very structured 4-ply. So I would say it's 2 2-plies. It's very airy. I don't know if you can see the structure. And I bought this grey and marine blue marl, and then 2 skeins of this beautiful marine blue. The colour's called Lagan. And I have 2 of these. I wanted to make a hat to go with it, but I'm not sure. Extremely soft Scottish lamb's wool, spun in Scotland. One of my Woolly Good Gathering treats, and I'm glad that I knitted it to have had this experience. Let's put this on actually. I think it'll look nice with this marine blue. Wiggle scarf, and I'm excited to think about what I will make with this. Will it become a balaclava? Will I make a triangular scarf? Because I've been craving like a marine blue triangle. Or will it become a hat as I had originally intended? Because it's so soft, I felt like this would be something to say thank you to my partner for letting me, basically we try and do this from time to time, cover each other's backs so one of us can go on an adventure, but the Edinburgh adventure was truly great for me. So I picked it up for him then to say thank you. Oh, and the next thing was going to be a work in progress. There's quite a few works in progress, but I'm going to show you just this one. So it goes back to the beginning of our podcast where I talked about linommuka knit along. And gosh, yes, I have been busy. I finished the summer stripes, and I've almost finished the disco trousers. I've got to hold back on those ones. But also in summer, I cast on for this Yamagara pattern. Berenice did it again. This is the luminous tee. It's beautiful. And I'm holding linommuka double with this hand-dyed Kiezgarn linommuka. And I don't know maybe if I put this behind it. Yeah, I think that's good. So the Kiezgarn linommuka is like a hand-dyed speckled one, and I'm pairing it this natural color with this light green called green cardamom, and the main color of the luminous tee is this, which is chocolate. I really love it. I've done the back or the front part, and now I'm doing the back part. I think my gauge is a little bit different because, again, I'm using 2.75mm needles, my go-to when it comes to 2 strands linommuka. The pattern, a bit like the Tao tee, a bit like a lot of summer tees, for that gauge, the pattern calls for a 3 or 3.25mm or something like that, and it's often like that. And I reached that gauge with linommuka on 2.75mm needles at a tighter gauge, but the same numbers. So from that experience, I just go for it. usually. Yeah, in this case you knit these triangles. I've done that, and then you knit them together and start knitting in the round for a bit, and then you start splitting for front and back. And yeah, currently on the back. This was going to be my swatch story because I absolutely love this hand-dyed Kiezgarn linommuka, and I have a couple of swatches. Put them somewhere. Bit chaotic at the moment, so never mind. I just thought I'll show you the whole t-shirt. I'm knitting this as part of the Laurier Summers Cal, where we're all focusing on Yamagara patterns and knitting alongside each other. It's a little bit more of a private knit along with like a chat group. I've never really knit in a knit along like that. Usually, well, the ones that I host are always public, so people can come and go, and it's like a learning base where people can ask questions or share the experience in a kind of public way. I used to even do that on Ravelry. I don't at the moment, so I'm trying to work out ways of how to do it. But it was super fun to see everyone's projects in that summer call, and I double dipped with linommuka knit along. I just need to share a picture of this and, well, I guess carry on working on it. It'll be a great layering piece because it's almost sleeveless, kind of like this, like a cap sleeve, so I can wear it with my shirts. I have a really nice new jean shirt, secondhand, and yeah, Yamagara's Luminous Tea, 2 strands linommuka in this beautiful bag with my favorite pin, a Phoebe Wall pin. Yeah, that's my work in progress at the moment. My whip, I finished this, so now what's next? I'm gonna use lots of my Stashvent leftovers that I have put into this bag. Let me show you the little yarn balls and different colors. These are all things from last year's Stashvent swap, and I'm gonna start and join the Tanoshi crafting for tomorrow's world's fastest cal, because it's just these little embellishments for your buttonholes. So if you wear a jean shirt, you create this knitted thing with a buttonhole in it, with like wispy things or creative things, colors you like, and it's just like a buttonhole adornment. So a little bit of knitted jewelry, and I'm gonna join using my Stashvent bits and bobs, and yeah, it's living in my summer project bag, a bag that I hand sewed. First I printed this screen, first I made the screen, then I printed the screen and my logo screen that I've also made on the linen that we sell at Vollen, like the green. And then I sewed these bags with the overlock and made this channel and added a cord, and these are like project bags that I sell in my Etsy shop. There's currently a sale, the after summer sale. Feel free to go over there and grab whatever's left of my summer items. I have a pin. And this year for Wedding Wool Weekend I made a yarn lover pin, and it came from a little fun thing. I don't know, it's just a word game. Dustlisher, yarn lover. I always thought they related, and I made 2 pins for all yarn lovers. You can buy them in a set or separately. And my friend Anda was the designer for this beautiful pin, and we had a lot of fun crafting these, and yeah, it's a really great memory. I'm holding it dear. And I made a new zine. This is my visit to Woolly Good Gathering in Edinburgh with the penguin that I made in the past and lost at Edinburgh Yarn Fest years ago. And yeah, now I've made a zine about a visit going back and taking this little knitted penguin to all these quirky places that me, a little nerd, loves. And yeah, this is the centerfold Happy place. And yeah, I'm selling the zine and other things. Please check out my sale, because all things must go. After summer is summer, but also new things will come to the shop in October, November for like the autumn season. Yarnchix Goods has got plans and crafting going on behind the scenes. So I'm hoping some of my lovely friends will find some nice things like pins, bags, zines, whatever you like. Go check it out. I have a Patreon page where you're always welcome to come and support. Even small things help, and with monthly donation you can join the online craft night, which is happening this Sunday, the next one. As well as if you join on the highest tier, you get freebies. Like if I make a mini zine like this, it goes out to my zinists. So they will be receiving this in the mail, I guess next week. If I start sending it today, it should arrive with you wherever you are in the world, sooner or later within the next week. So let's say end of September or early October, and that's the zinist item that I'm sending for the August-September bracket. There is a letter tier where I send postcards, and I've made a new postcard for you, and that is also going out. Postcards are generally quicker, but the zine will take a little bit longer. So I'm really happy to be mailing out analog art and to be riso printing with my lovely support by Patreon friends. I can go to print at Colorama Studio. That's like a membership that I pay monthly so I can produce these items. Then obviously I pay for material and each print, but a membership is needed so I can go and print and play a bit with risography for my zines. And I use that money to record this podcast. So every little bit helps. The podcast has to happen on a day that I'm not working, like today, and it takes time. And so I really appreciate people acknowledging this by supporting me there. So thank you so much for your care and support. So from Monday onwards, we're going to start registration for our podcast's countdown calendar swap. Yes! It's a swap to celebrate occasions in December. So it could be the summer solstice, the winter solstice. It could be New Year's Eve. It could be Christmas. It can be Hanukkah. Sorry, that's the fire brigade going by. So any celebration you want to celebrate and count. Maybe you have a birthday in December. You can join a swap, and in the swap we fill in a form to give a kind of a rough idea what we want to craft, what colors we love, what materials we like. If we're allergic to mohair, there will also be a space to say so. And then another person with our kind of information then crafts a countdown calendar especially for us. So, and it's a round swap, so you're not swapping directly with a person, but everybody's swapping and sending something to someone else. We swap internationally, but often what I would do is I would pair people in America, in the UK, in Europe. We've had Australia, we've had Japan, so we kind of pair people locally so as to keep shipping safer and cheaper. And yeah, it's so much fun. Please check this hashtag for all the inspiration of what people have received in the swaps, how the calendars looked, how these parcels were crafted, what was made from the crafted calendars, what yarns, were sent. We gotta be ultra uber extra careful not to send any parasites, so there is a lot of information about how to make your yarn moth safe, and all that begins kind of now. If you want to make some minis and put them in the freezer, you can, but you should wait and read the form of who is the swappie you're sending to. And I'm starting to open the Stashvent books as to say. That's how I would call it. I will open the Stashvent books 30th of September, and then end of October we will be talking to each other with who sends to whom, because I guess November is the safe zone to send things out. So I'm pulling things a little bit forward. There's a small registration fee of €20 for your registration. So once I've received that, be it as like a PayPal, via coffee, whatever way you can imagine paying. Once that is received, then I'll send you a new form out that you can answer the new question. We call it questionnaire, or the form, and the Stashvent form, and then you're fully registered. As a little gift this year, something small will go out to you once everything starts traveling. So basically I'm making an extra little small mail item for everyone who's joining the Stashvent swap, where we go through our stash, appreciate our stash, and share it with maybe a friend or a stranger, but someone in the swap community. And honestly, it's always been so much fun. Please check the previous years, especially through Vlogmas films. You can see quite a lot of what I've been crafting on. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me here today and listening to my tales about the swap and my crafting, the ups and downs and the quirks of things, like the wiggle scarf that I now finally finished. Yeah, from me, my pingazine and my craftings, lots of love. Here comes the Taronet Oracle with the question, what to do with the grief beast once it moves in. See you later. Lots of love.